Hello, all you awesome people out there. Welcome and welcome back to Geek Visions I'm still getting used to the new intro. Welcome back to the channel. I am Geek Viz Hoove as always, and we begin our Oscars March here today. If you don't know Oscars March, I'm going to attempt to watch every Best Picture nominee before the Oscars air Sunday, March 15th. We're gonna watch every single movie up for Best Picture as we stand right now. Well, not as we stand, but before I did this, I'd only seen one, and that was Sinners. So we are going to be watching them here as I watch all of them. So yeah, we got quite a few movies to get through, so I'm gonna watch them. I'm gonna give my opinions, everything on them. And on March 15th, when the Oscars air, we'll figure out who won, and we'll figure out if who I believe should have took the Oscar. So we're going to begin our journey here on Oscars March with One Battle After Another, Paul Thomas Anderson's newest film. We're going to start with that one. We got Sentimental Value up later this week as well. And then next week we'll continue on and on and on until we get there. So we're starting with One Battle After Another. This is the first time I've seen it. I think this F1 and I want to say Begonia are the only movies I was at least slightly familiar with what they are and what they're about. Everything else, I have zero idea what they are. So that's pretty exciting. One Battle After Another, I was interested. I seen the trailers. It looked like it was pretty good. So I was interested in it. So we will see if it holds up. So due to the fact that we got like 9 movies to get through, these are probably going to be slightly shorter than my usual I Just Watches. We're kind of just going to run through them. I'll talk about them a little bit because we got a lot of movies to watch and we're going to get through them pretty fast. So we begin with One Battle After Another. So let's go ahead and talk about it right now. So, One Battle After Another aired, it was released in theaters on September 26, 2025. Now it is available primarily on HBO Max, but it is available for rent through other means. The film, let me get back to my shit. God damn you, bitch. So the film, my bad, I gotta get my shit straight. Transition, bitch. There we go. So the film is directed and written by Paul Thomas Anderson. The film stars Leonardo DiCaprio, Sean Penn, Benicio del Toro, Tiana Taylor, Regina Hall, and Chase Infinity. So the story of the film revolves around a former revolutionary fighter named Pat, who is looking to put his past behind him and lie low to raise his daughter, Willow. But when a soldier from his past appears to be targeting Pat, who now goes by the name of Bob, and his daughter, he must go on a frenetic chase to retrieve his daughter and save her life. So that's kind of the plot of the story. I'm gonna go through some little important elements and more things to go through here. But some important things to note. French 75, I believe I have that right. French 75 is the name of the far left revolutionary group that Pat was a part of. They were known to be bomb federal buildings. They freed immigrants, hold up in detention centers, and provide safe housing and new lives for the immigrants that they bring into the states. And it's there that Pat meets Perfida, who would eventually become the mother of his daughter. Also, we're going to talk a little bit about Lockjaw. Lockjaw is the main villain of the film, played by Sean Penn. When the F-75 broke out in immigrant detention center, he was humiliated sexually by Perfida, and since then he became obsessed with her. The two did sleep together for a while when he called her, and she kind of knew what she knew what he was after, so they slept together. And later in life, Lockjaw was accepted into a talk about it later, but still saying it out loud is fucking hilarious. But when Lockjaw was accepted into a Christmas-themed white supremacist secret cabal, he finds out that he's going to need to take out Willow to clear his reputation and keep the fact that he slept with the colored woman, and it may ruin his chances of getting into this cabal group. Again, saying it out loud is hilarious. We'll get to. But yeah, let's talk about them a little bit. Their name was the Christmas Adventures Club, and like I said, they are a white supremacist secret society, all designed to basically keep whites in power and keep minorities out of it, as you would expect. So after for some important elements and things of that nature, let's go ahead and talk about what I liked about the film. The film pacing is really, really well in this movie. There's like this frenetic energy and pace. I think the editing also goes to I should give credit for a lot for that as well. I'm trying to make sure my mouth isn't covered up by the damn video here. I think the pacing and the editing, I think the editing has a real lot to do with that, but it has like this frenetic pace that really kind of like stretches out suspense and things like that. There are these very long tracking shots. As you kind of see in this, like in that section here, there are these very just lengthy and long tracking shots in here that are just very well done. Just so like the energy that's kind of follows there, because there's a lot of background action happening when they do those shots. It really just makes the film kind of seem frenetic. What's the word I'm looking for? Almost claustrophobic. Like there's a lot going on in just these very small spaces that make it look very small. And it just has this pace that I just really like. It's just very frenetic. I will say, while I do wish there was a little bit more color brought into this film, the camera work is fucking great here. Like there's a shot of like Leo and the Benny. It's when Leo goes to Benicio's character in order to like ask him for help, and Benicio's like closing like his dojo or something. There's this shot where Benicio turns off the lights, so the interior is completely dark. There's no light. The only light is coming from outside the building. They're standing in front of, like, there's just this giant window, so the only light is coming from what they play off as just like a street light on the outside of the dojo. That's the only light giving. That's the only light we're getting in this shot. And it's really cool. It kind of silhouettes them. It gives them just enough you can make out their outlines, but the parts that are close to the light, and then their shadows kind of blend into their silhouettes kind of blend into the shadows of the shot. It's a really good looking shot in there. But yeah, the camera work in this is really good. Like I mentioned, those long tracking shots, really nice, well done. There also might be a lot of oneers in here too. I wasn't really paying that much attention to really kind of determine if it was. But yeah. Speaking of Benicio, his character was great. Like cool, calm, collected. Just cool, calm under all the pressure. Cool as fuck. But he was really cool. I really liked his character. Another thing I liked, and this another thing I really liked, Chase Infinity, Tiana Taylor, Regina Hall, just beautiful black queens, just all through this movie. I love it. You gotta love it for Black History Month. you gotta love something about this movie for Black History Month. So let's get into it. So what I didn't like about this movie, I'm gonna keep it a bean with y'all. My opinions, I don't know how. I have seen that this movie is kind of divisive. I didn't look too much into it because I did want to form my own opinions before I go into these. But yeah, I'm gonna keep it a bean with y'all. I'll keep it 100. Paul Thomas Anderson is the only writer for this movie. He needed some black people to come on and work on this script. Like no lie. It was written by an old white dude, and you can tell in this movie. For what I love Tiana Taylor in this movie. She did her thing. She was great. She's got the Oscar for like supporting actress Oscar. Good for her. But her character, I feel like her character was written like somebody had heard a Cardi B album for the first time and believes like all black women are like that. Like like that stereotypical belief that like again like people who like only watch like fucking like rap videos and shit like that, and then they be like, and then they have like this idea that like black women are like these hyper sexually charged individuals who have to like fuck like every 2 minutes. It's problematic, and I know you can kind of view it as one way. You can kind of view it as like, oh, it's a female empowerment thing. She's very open and very confident in her sexuality. All I'm saying is that there's literally a scene in this movie where they're setting up a fucking bomb at a damn energy station. Leo sets the bomb off, and there's like 2 minutes before it blows up, and literally she's like in that 2 minute window. She's like, "Come on!" She's like, "Come on, baby, let's fuck right now." I'm just like, what the fuck? And it makes it worse because you know, again, it's like, yeah, she's just hoping with her sexuality. Like, I feel like it's a little problematic, especially considering the fact that legitimately later on in the movie, you know, so her and the Teyana Taylor plays Profita, who hooks up with Leo, and they have their daughter. Literally later in the movie, when she's pregnant and she has her daughter, Leo is like, Leo is ready to kind of like settle down, get out of the revolution, because now they have a daughter to raise. You know, they got somebody besides themselves they have to care about now, and y'all know. What literally any time any like interracial couple, especially like a black man and a white woman, do anything on like social media, the fucking go-to joke and the go-to comment these fuck ass racist wannabe comedians throw out there is, oh, I hope she doesn't mind being a single mother. You know that bullshit. They legitimately do this in this movie. They just swap the gender roles. So, you know, I talk about how, like, she, you know, they're setting up this bomb, doing their shit for the revolution, and she like, come on, baby, we got 2 minutes, let's fuck right now before the bomb goes off. And it's like, she's doing that while doing this revolution shit. But at the same time, she takes it so serious, because she walks out on Leo and her daughter, right? Like, that's what I mean. Like, the black woman walks out on the family, leaving the white man to raise the showing that the white man is the one who stays behind to raise the child, right? And it's like, if you it's like you take it that serious that you're willing to abandon your family to continue this fight for the revolution, but you don't take it seriously enough to, you know, not have sex while you're setting off a bomb at a power station to make your statement. You know what I mean? I feel like there's just conflicting interests and conflicting statements within that. But you know, that's me. And by the way, it isn't played off as like, oh, I'm gonna do this one last job. I'll do this, and then when this is done, then I'll step back and I'll step away and I'll come back home and we can be a family and I'll raise my daughter. No, she legitimately goes like, a motherfucker, you think you can hold me down? Like this revolution shit is way more important than you trying to fucking straddle me down and have a family shit. She legitimately walks out. And and seemingly with the complete intent that she knows for a fact that she's not really going to be there to like truly like be the mother to the child. So I just again this is kind of being a little problematic. Another thing I didn't like, the Christmas Adventurers Club. High key, this was like parody levels of hilarity to me. You know, like some blaxploitation levels of comedy shit. You know, like, you ever see Undercover Brother? And you know, they just make a point of like the man being like the main villain of the shit. It's like that for me, and just these ridiculous levels of comedy they have in there, and again, it's like some Black Dynamite shit in there. It's like, oh, there's this secret cabal of old white men who are racist, and they make the moves for in order to preserve this white supremacy, this white patriarchy, and you know, that's what I mean. I feel like you needed more black people working on the script, because it's like it's kind of so blatant and in your face with the like, hey guys, racism kind of shit they got going on in here, and then it's like, and it's just me as a black man. I'm just like, yeah, like, no fucking shit. Like, I feel like it's been used as like some major like reveal shit, but it's just like, as a black man, it's like, yeah, nigga, like the fucking, literally the fucking literal administration in power right now is basically kind of like that. You're not really saying anything new or special or revealing anything. And like, that's why I said, like, that shit was just kind of funny to me. Because even as I say it out loud, that shit is like hilarious to me. So, yeah, and another thing I didn't like, there's this car chase scene at the end. I feel like it ran way too fucking long. Like cut that shit down. We get it. And like I said, the movie does a good job of like stretching suspense and things like that. I feel like that scene did it way too fucking long. Yeah, that shit was way too long. But yeah, that's what I liked and what I didn't like. Let me give a little pre-tits for the Oscars march we got going on here. So besides, of course, the Best Picture nominations, one battle after another is also up for a whopping 13 nominations at the Academy Awards. And those include Best Actor for Leonardo DiCaprio, Supporting Actress, as I mentioned before, for Tiana Taylor, Supporting Actor as well for both Benicio del Toro and Sean Penn. It is also up for Best Director, Best Original Score, Adapted Screenplay, Cinematography, Editing, Production Design, and Sound. So it is up for nomination in all of those categories. So, and with all that, my final thoughts on One Battle After Another. One Battle After, it's been one of the most critically acclaimed films of last year. Like I said, 13 nominations in the Oscars here today. And I can already tell you that stems from a certain demographic. And that demographic is, of course, white people. As a black man, this movie is like, as I mentioned, this movie is on like the levels of like Crash, with how blatant it is, with like the plays on like, hey guys, racism and shit like that. Like, hey guys, did you know that racism exists and it's pretty fucking bad? Like shit like this. It is believe me, it is a far better done film than Crash was. But it does kind of have that very like that very kind of pick me energy when it comes to it. Like if you watch this with your white homie or like your white friends and would watch this along with you, and it's like the kind of movie they would just turn to you and go like, oh my gosh, is it really like that? Is it really that hard for you? And it's like it's like it's like on that level. Like for people who are just oblivious or just voluntarily ignorant to it. It's on that. It just has different levels of shit. It even literally has a scene of like the government planting like insurgents in it, because there's like this big ass protest going on, right? And then they like, okay, we got to push this along. All right, let's basically give it the green light for, all right, we need something to sort of like turn up the intensity and incite more violence in this shit. So they literally show that they literally have somebody planted in the crowd who then like throws a Molotov to get shit more riled up in order to trigger a more violent response from cops. They even do shit like that. The fucking, you know, the fucking Antifa is a domestic terrorist organization kind of response shit like, all protests are just filled with fucking Antifa terrorists. It legitimately has a scene like that in there. Like I mentioned, the fucking secret white supremacist cabal shit. Again, it's just like black exploitation levels of hilarity to me. I view this fucking movie as more of a comedy than a drama. That's how just like that's just how like, and like again, I went into this movie kind of just seeing the trailers, just went, oh, I like the cast. This movie looks pretty good. You know, I thought the whole thing about, you know, him, the past coming back to haunt him shit was gonna be, you know, I did not think we were gonna get the race fucking shit. The fucking, oh, ain't it crazy how these old white dudes could be super racist, and yet secretly they have this weird sexual fantasy about black women, and kind of like secretly obsessed with, like, yeah, motherfucker, yeah, they like, motherfucker, we know that shit already. Of course they did. So again, I did not go into this expecting any of this shit. And when all that shit started to get revealed, I was fucking laughing my ass off. So that's why I was like, this movie is like, it's hilarity to me. So overall though, this is a very solid movie. I'm clearly not who this movie was catered to, at least in a way of me already being aware of, you know, the shit like this, like the white patriarchy setup, you know, keeping people like me out of shit, you know, but the performances were great. Del Toro was amazing. For as little as we got of her in here, Regina Hall was great too. There was some dope camera work, great lighting, editing, all very well done. Music was actually pretty good in this damn movie too. The original score was really well done. But like, I'm gonna be honest, every movie we watch, I'm stacking it up to Sinners. That's, again, it's the one movie I saw, but it's the best movie I saw last year. So it's in the race. So I'm stacking everything up against Sinners. I think that's currently, as we stand, my clear pick to win Best Picture. And I'm be honest, stacking up to Sinners, this shit ain't even close. So I'd give it like a 5. So that is my that is my impressions for One Battle After Another. Let me know what you think in the comments. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Like I said, I've seen a lot of people loving this movie. And now that I've seen it and I've given my opinions on it, and I kind of have that, I might dig deeper into what like the actual feelings, receptions for this movie is, especially looking at the difference between how white people sort of view this movie and how people of color kind of view this movie. So I'm gonna look more into that too. But if you got any thoughts on it, let me know down in the comments below. Again, not saying it's not a bad movie in the least. Again, I just feel like it's catered to a certain people, and it comes from a certain viewpoint, and unfortunately, neither one of those lines up with me, I feel. But anywho, that's One Battle After Another. Like I said, next up is Sentimental Value. So be on the lookout for that. If you like what I'm doing here, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Like I said, Oscars March, we got 9 movies we got to get through. Well, technically 7. Now, One Battle After Another's out the way. Like I said, I've seen Sinners. I did get my review on that earlier in the year, so you can go and watch that if you're interested. Yeah, so that's about the One Battle After Another. Sentimental Value is next. We are on the Oscars March. If you like that, check out some of the other stuff I got. I'll talk about movies. I'll talk about video games as movies. I'll talk about TV and video games as well. So if any of that shit interests you, feel free to check all that out. But until next time, everybody, I will speak to you all later. Deuces.